Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Weather Mike. It's January 26th. It's Friday. Friday. And a beautiful weekend up ahead, no matter what your weather. We have a chance for some tornadoes, maybe Alabama. We'll show you that here in a second. Florida Panhandle, too. 10:30 in the morning as I'm recording. And the fog in the plains is mainly on the wane. And other things going on. Here are the hazards across the country, and still a lot of fog. I mean, all the way from the Gulf Coast, Louisiana, Texas, through Texas, the Panhandle, Oklahoma, up into Kansas. Less fog here for the Midwest, and so that's probably good. Our dense fog advisory got canceled this morning because the fog didn't show up. I mean, not the dense stuff, but still a dense fog advisory for central Nebraska up into South Dakota. You get further to the north, and we're looking at winter weather advisories up there, North Dakota, Minnesota. Winter storm warning and winter weather advisories for a small piece of Colorado there. Flooding a concern. It really is a concern, and we'll show you why here in a little bit too. So Alabama into Georgia, also rivers of southeast Texas into Louisiana, and same for up in Illinois. We have river flooding concerns and just general flooding concerns with rain and melting snowpack. For the Pacific Northwest, winter weather advisories for the Cascades, little patch of fog near Moscow, Idaho, and Central California, and a little bit of wind advisory stuff going on for the Northern California coast. And way up in New England, we have winter weather advisories as well. So the main story in town is going to be the heavy rain, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, again along this stationary front, and then just a big general area of rain and thunderstorms from Texas to North Carolina down into Florida. A little bit of a mix for New Mexico, Colorado, with that small patch of heavy snow possible for I guess that's the Rockies of Colorado there. I don't think that's quite Pueblo or Colorado Springs, but so watch out for that if you're in Colorado, And then up in the Pacific Northwest, still some freezing rain showing up there, eastern Oregon, eastern Washington, and Idaho, and parts of the Cascades, and of course the Columbia River Gorge with rain on the coast, and then a small area of heavy rain flooding possible, southern Oregon coast. And then again, up in New England, we've got the freezing rain concerns and mixture of precipitation with our winter weather advisories there. Same with Great Lakes. Highs today are getting higher. Still some freezing temperatures for highs in Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire, but otherwise above freezing up and down the East Coast. In fact, Pennsylvania 50s. How about that? How about 80s in Florida? Sure. 60s, California, southern Arizona. Viva Las Wages. Also Texas, a lot of 60s there across the south with the warm, moist air. That's going to lead to thunderstorms and showers and heavy rainfall. Still in the 30s here in Iowa, but above freezing. And some patchy below freezing, Nebraska through the Dakotas up into Minnesota and, of course, the Rockies. Excessive rain today, that's happening. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, with marginal chance or a lesser chance of excessive rainfall expanding outside of that into Georgia and southern Tennessee. Also, Oklahoma and North Texas could see some excessive rainfall. That includes Oklahoma City and DFW. And then along the Oregon coast, a chance for excessive rain down into the Northern California coast as well. And then tomorrow, the excessive rain chance shifts off to the north for Appalachia, for Virginia, North Carolina, parts of South Carolina, northern Georgia. Not just the mountains, though, expanding out from that. The marginal risk for excessive rainfall all the way from West Virginia down to Alabama and Mississippi. And meanwhile, Pacific Northwest along the coast and Northern California too, a chance for some excessive rainfall. And here's why. Our stationary front now stalled a little further north through Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. North of that is where we're seeing that chance for heavy rain, flash flooding possible. And then Alabama and Florida Panhandle, the severe storms possible. On the very northern fringe of that big area of showers and storms, we do have a mix in the forecast for northern Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, into New York, and New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island. And then Pacific Northwest, it's more rain and less mix, but still some mix. Still some freezing rain in there as well. Here's a closer look at the severe chances for tomorrow. Could see severe thunderstorms. And the slight risk area in the yellow, again, we're talking about Mobile, Alabama, through much of Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. And then the marginal risk, it's expanding from that, from southern Louisiana or southeast Louisiana through Mississippi, eastern Mississippi, into Georgia, which includes Atlanta. So be careful there. And then the general thunderstorms is that lighter green area. And we might see some isolated tornadoes. The best chance for that would be the Florida Panhandle, Mobile, Alabama, up through parts of Alabama, central Alabama. And then the 2% risk is in the green. So that would include parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, and getting into Georgia as well. Again, Atlanta included. So if you're in that area, you definitely want to pay attention to wherever you get your warnings from, whether it's Twitter X or your favorite person on TV or, however that works for you. But do pay attention if you see ominous weather, of course, in your area. Meanwhile, we're going back to our GFS model just to get an idea of what might happen for the rest of January. So we'll take you out to February 1st, and we're looking at noon Central Time here across the country. So this is an hour and a half from now as I'm recording, with our snow coming down northern New Hampshire, northern Vermont into Maine, and then that's ice south of that. So watch out. Light rain coming down Wisconsin, northern Illinois, but again, don't forget about our flooding concerns here, melting snow and rain combined. The heavy rain right now off the coast of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, but that'll change. We'll show you that. And then we have some rain in Texas, a little bit of snow back towards northeastern New Mexico, southeastern Colorado, and it's rain and snow for mainly Oregon. Okay. All right, moving ahead in time through the rest of today, and you can see the showers and storms moving into Louisiana, also getting stronger in the DFW area, and the snow and the ice exiting northern New England. A little bit of light rain coming down Lake Michigan with some light snow around that. And this gets us to midnight tonight. So some pretty strong storms, northern Louisiana into western Mississippi. And again, not too far from Dallas, maybe a little east. Maybe this is Tyler. There's the Red River. And we see the rain coming down Oregon, Washington, with snow coming in inland from that. As we get into the day tomorrow, this would be noon tomorrow. And so here's where it's going to really start to ramp up for Georgia into Alabama. Again, this is our severe risk here and our isolated tornado risk for tomorrow. Eastern Tennessee getting in on some heavy rainfall with some storms. So keep an eye out here for flooding concerns, for severe weather concerns, and isolated tornado concerns. Pacific Northwest, it's your regular rain, which you expect this time of year. Again, those heavy showers moving northward as we go through time. And this is late in the day Sunday. This is midnight Sunday. So scattered showers and storms, some possibly heavy, from all the way from Ohio into North Carolina, Virginia, and along the coast as well, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. Could see some of that as the storm continues to move off to the north and east. And it looks like this is heavy rain for Oregon and Washington and the northern California coast. As we showed you in our other map, they're expecting heavy rain, and it looks like they will get it. And meanwhile, this low, once it gets further north, starts pulling in some of that cold air. So we're starting to see the rain change to snow. Pennsylvania, New York, back in northern Ohio. And some of the heavier rain now moving off the coast. And this right here is noon on Sunday. So that's snow, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. All right, let's move ahead here. We've got a couple more days to go till the end of the month. So light snow continuing as we get into Monday. This is midnight Sunday right here. The low off the coast, the heavy rain off the coast, light snow on the coast, and quiet elsewhere. And you see these red lines. This warmth returning. I mean, it's been warming up, but it's going to warm up even more. And then we see that light snow hanging out, but it's very light. There's not much going on around the whole country here as we're getting into Monday. This is noon Monday right here. Hardly any precipitation across the whole lower 48. Then as we get into Monday afternoon and evening, we do see a low dropping in out of Canada, bringing some snow to northern Michigan, the UP of Michigan. And what else is going on? Not a lot. The storm getting its act together a little bit. More snow for Canada mostly, but parts of Michigan, and trailing rain showers for Ohio. This is Tuesday, 18Z, so this is noon on Tuesday on my birthday, the 30th. All right, what else is going on? Oh, maybe some cooler air for my birthday. That would be nice. We've got some rain approaching the Oregon coast, and then our little system here with some rain and snow moving into the Lake Erie area. Some snow for Cleveland, moving into Erie, Pennsylvania, rain further south as we move into the 31st. This is midnight on the 30th, and this is early morning 31st. And we see a little bit more snow now. Pennsylvania again, getting into parts of Maryland, Virginia, Northern Virginia, and just a bunch of rain here moving onshore from British Columbia all the way through Washington, Oregon, and California as we pretty much wrap up the month coming up here. Yep, here we go. This is midnight on the last day of January with showers and even some thunderstorms on the southern edge of this. So Central California, some thunderstorms moving in. A little bit of snow in here, the higher elevations of the Siskiyous, but it's mostly rain along the coast. The Olympics getting some snow as well. All right. As you know, we've been warming up, and we will continue to warm up as we move into February. We have the 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook. So again, the deeper red doesn't mean it's going to be that much warmer. It just means that there's that much better of a chance of above average temperatures. And we're seeing that from the northern part of the country and really the whole country. West Coast staying average, equal chances for average, below average for Florida, generally speaking here. And our precipitation, well, it's the western 2/3 of the United States with a chance of above average precipitation, and the chances get better as you get further west. As you can see, Florida also with above average chance of above average precipitation, and then generally drier than average as you go through the rest of the southeast all the way up the east coast and into the Great Lakes. And our warm-up will continue. So this is first day of February for highs. And we have 80s still in Florida. Widespread 60s across Texas, southern Arizona, into California. 50s for Missouri to near 60. Kansas in some places in the low 60s there. And some of those 50s and 60s going all the way to the Canadian border, almost into Montana at least, and some 50s and even 60s in the western South Dakota. And even here in Iowa, we probably will see some sunshine and highs in the mid 40s to near 50. So say goodbye to the rest of our snow. I'm so sad to see it go. But it's only February 1st, this map. So you don't know. It might snow some more. Winter's not over by a long shot. But a nice respite for people who like the warmth. Watch out for severe weather in the south, especially tomorrow, and the heavy rainfall where it's expected. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you before that. We'll probably check in with you tomorrow sometime. Thanks for tuning in, The Weather Mike.